Call Haloyim Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Shalom. This is your fellow servant Tazawar from the GMS Orlando camp, here with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom rule well, and from whom we learn his truth. Shalom to you, Akim, who are not in GMS, but are pushed in likewise doctrine, in spirit, and in truth, with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds, who are scattered among the nations, looking like those nations. To the 144,000 elect men, and the rest of the hopeful elect, to you I say, Shalom. This lesson it serves as a reminder, all right, to you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, that the system that we are currently in was not made for you to succeed. Okay? And this whole freedom thing is a sham. All right? This video is a reminder of the type of man that we are dealing with. All right? Because for whatever reason, our people still have a bad case of Stockholm Syndrome. Right? With all of the records, all right, of how this guy get down. Okay? And when I say this guy, I'm speaking of the man whose custody we are currently in. All right? Who's at the top of this system that we reside in here in Babylon the Great, aka America? Is it the so-called Arab man? Is it the Middle Eastern Arab man? Is it the Asian man, the China man, the Japanese man, the African man? We know it's not the African man. Right? And we damn sure know it's not you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You're at the bottom. But anyway, I'm going to play a short clip. Oh, and this also, too. No, I'll do that one later. I'm going to play this clip, right, from, I want you guys to watch this. And this guy, what's it, Rizza Islam, I think is what he goes by, is making a statement. Okay? Now, Islam does have some good principles, but you better believe that these guys have been paying attention to the Israelites. Okay? They've been paying attention to the Israelites. Because they can tell you what's, this guy don't like us. He ain't never liked us. But they can't tell you the why. And they can't tell you what's going to happen in the future concerning our people in a prophetic manner. Okay? As far as these other religions and ideologies go, these other faiths, it's a toss up, it's a mashup. There's a cloud of uncertainty, right? What the scriptures give us, it tells us these things were going to happen to us, and then it also tells us what shall befall us in the last days. And these other guys can't give you that information, right? Because they don't know. They don't understand the scriptures. But anyway, let me grab this video. Salakia.
Looking at? Am I tripping? Really? Your enemy is not sleep like you. What have we been looking at? Am I tripping? Really? Your enemy is not sleep like you. This enemy is 24/7, 365 and 1/4 days on the clock. He has an A and a B team. He has a night and day shift. He got a swing shift. He got a graveyard shift. And we are sitting here acting as if we just gonna clap today and say Juneteenth, we are free. No, the word emancipation means I free you from my hand, but not from my control. Your enemy is still very much alive. The mindset is still alive, which means the mindset of your ancestors must become resurrected. Sears 2025. They're calling this the severe epidemic introvirus respiratory syndrome. They said by 2025, a pandemic is going to pop up. What does that mean? They're going to make it happen. What does that mean? We are going to be on the defensive again? Oh, y'all getting nervous, huh? Enemy is convincing us to kill ourselves with all of these different things. The next thing they're going to come out with is another set of vaccines. They already have them approved. But my question is, how do we go from saying Assalamu alaikum, peace, black power, shalom, to Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson? Am I hurting your feelings? The reality is we're all lied to. Is that right? This is not a, yeah, we told you type of moment, because we all have family who suffered from this. Would you believe me if I told you that your sister who passed didn't pass from just random cancer? Would you believe me if I told you that they are doing studies, and one study in Japan and one study in Korea are now stating that these shots, and particularly Pfizer, have increased heart attack?
Have 3 kids. You've never been.
Right, so he said a mouthful there. Right, and you see they cut the clip right as he was going to say something relating to coronary issues, right? Sears, right? That SEERS was the acronym for this supposed thing that they have coming up just around the corner in 2025. Now, this is, a rumor at this point, right? But it could very well be on the horizon. Okay? We know that in 2020, the C-19 was, that plan was supposed to be implemented a year prior. Right? Anyway, he said something about resurrecting the mind of your ancestors. Okay? Well, let's go into our book. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Right? And the 49th verse, 48. Right? This is why Negroes can't get into the mind of their ancestors. Now, which ancestors are you talking about? Because even during so-called not so-called, during apartheid, and even before that in slavery, you still had your Sambo coon-ass motherfuckers, right? Who they didn't want to go against the grain. They were comfortable with not getting their back beat in and all of that. Just little trinkets, the crumbs that came from the table. right? But this is the reason why our people are so docile right here. Okay, and why they lean on this man. All right, and this is scripture, and this is prophecy. So if you go up, you know what, 33 verses to Deuteronomy the 15th, Deuteronomy 28 in the 15th verse, it tells you that all these curses will befall our nation, right? Anyway, let's get this. Deuteronomy 28 and 48, this is a milk scripture, right? Every brother should know this if you've been tuned into the truth. And it reads, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord, Yahweh, right, shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Right? It says in want of all things. That includes medical care, marriage license, hunger, we know, that's food, right? The supermarkets, thirst, your water, whether you got to call somebody to drill a well on your property, or you have to pay the city for water, right? And in nakedness, the clothing stores, right? Now, it may be some people that have a brand out, some black-owned brands, but where are those clothes coming from? You still got to go to your oppressor to get those shirts, to put your design on them, right? We don't own the textile mills, right? Hunger, thirst, and nakedness, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. That's a buzzword right there. As swift as the eagle flieth. Whose mascot is the eagle? A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, right? And what does it say right here? A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young, right? All of those deletion stations, right? Those OBORTIONS stations, right? Clipping the fetus in the womb. That's not showing favor to the young. You know, there's a plethora of examples that we have of young so-called Negroes and Latinos getting gunned down, right, in the streets by these taskmasters, by law enforcement, right? Criminal justice system, not regarding the person of old. Okay, well, we know, since they were speaking on the last pandemic, right? A lot of elderly people got sent out of there early, man. They was fine 1 week. The next week, they woke up or didn't, right? They had a saying, oh, you wake up dead. That's how they woke up. They woke up in the heavenly realm, in the fourth dimension, right? So these things are very apparent, man. All you got to do is piece one and one together, and that equals 2, right? Let's get another one. This is Leviticus 26 and let's start at 15, right? This is Leviticus 26 and 15, points in 17. And if ye shall despise my statutes, which we did, you tell a nigga today to stop eating pork, all right? Or you tell a, you know, so-called Latino, right? One of them speaks, they don't want to stop eating pork. No como cerdo. Ay, ay, qué rico, man. Cerdo está rico. No, I'm gonna eat the pork. Right? Shrimp, crab, lobster, they look at you crazy. Anyway, verse 15. If ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, and we did, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eye and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it, right? And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. Right? The point I wanted to get out of that verse 17 is they that hate you shall reign over you. Okay? And we just talked about law enforcement and the youth. We mentioned that. So we know that these individuals do in fact hate us. Right? And if they not gunning down the youth, they trying to plant some illicit substance on you to get you slapped with some kind of case, man. Right? There's no justice here. Right? And that's what our people are in search of justice, going into fairness. Right? They want justice. They want peace. Look, ain't no justice, ain't no peace in this place. All right? This is not our rest. This is not our rest. And if what this Rizza Islam guy is talking about should occur in 2025, then guess what? Because, basically they've been saying since 2023, all last year, the Jordan year, right, as they say, as they coined it, 2023, and this year, 2024, they're talking about, well, there's going to be another plan. They delete the L, pan, right? But there's going to be another pandemic or another epidemic. We just don't know when. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Right? Inevitable means there's no stopping it. It's going to happen because it was always meant to happen, like fate. Right? And they also said that the next one will be worse. So yeah, they are softening the population for such an occurrence. But again, these guys aren't going into the scriptures showing you these things, right? That the people that hate you, and probably, most likely, is highly probable, I'll say, right? They might try that same bullshit. Oh, all you niggas and you spicks in the back, y'all come up here too, yeah. Oh, and you 3 Native Americans over there, because it's only a couple of y'all left. Y'all come on over here. Y'all get this sticky icky thing first, Get juiced up. Get that Juicy J. Here, take this Capri Sun, as the Elder Yashawamba say. Right? Because we're most at risk, according to their science. Right? When the herbs and stuff are supposed to keep you healthy, they alter that genetically with these genetically altered seeds. And then they also, through that process, they've diluted the active compounds in our natural medicines, man. Our natural remedies, Salakia. This is not medical information. I didn't list any specific remedies to treat anything, but there are remedies that the holistic society leans heavily on. right? And our people used to be very familiar with that. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But you've forgotten yourselves, right? And you are leaning on this guy. Okay? This guy wanna get everybody together. Get in the mind of the ancestors and be like of old, like during the times of Malcolm and apartheid, when by any means necessary, and bus boycott and all of that. Look, them days is over, man. This new generation, they can't stick to no plan. They can't follow. Look, they're so self-centered that they will not go along with anything that you all do. And some of these millennials that's on the back end of the millennial generation too. You mid-90s babies and all of that shit, late to mid-90s. Selfish as fuck, man. But this is the main thing about that is it don't matter what y'all try to do as a group of people. The Lord put us in this situation. I just read you them 2 scriptures, man. There's nothing you can do as a people to get yourself out of this predicament. It ain't gonna happen. We need the Lord, man. This is 2 Ezra 2. And let me start at 20, right? I ain't want that. So like, yeah, I need 2 Ezra 10 and 20. Now this is Ezra having a vision, right? And the angel Uriel was giving him instruction, okay? To give you some backstory. You can read up on your own, right? But this is a vision that Ezra received. But I want to get some meat out of this, okay? To make my point. Now this is 2 Ezra 10 and 20. Do not sow, but be counseled, right? By me, for how many are the adversaries of Sion? Right? Sion is Zion, right? Which is whom? That's the woman, right? That's the nation of Israel. That is our people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, right? And usually Zion is spoken of as a mountain. Okay, so when it says Mount Zion, it's speaking of the governing body of Yasharallah. All right, but anyway, Zion is Yasharallah. That's the Israelites. Zion going into a memorial, a monument, right? Because we're a memorial unto the Lord. A monument unto the Lord because we're his people. For how many are the adversaries of Zion? Be comforted in regard of the sorrow of Jerusalem, right? So he's getting a vision about the sorrow that our people are going to encounter, the sorrow of Jerusalem. All right. But it says what? To be comforted in regard of that sorrow. Why? Because we shall be delivered out of it. Okay. Now there's a question here. For how many are the adversaries of Zion? Well, let's answer that question. Let's come over here back to the blue letter and pull this up. Let's go to Matthew and 24 and 9, right? Now, obviously, this is Yahushua speaking. And he's speaking to his apostles specifically, right? But This also goes to the body of believers. Okay, this applies to the body of believers. This applies to the elect and the remnant, the 1/3, right? Matthew 24:9, it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations. Shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All right. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Okay. Let's keep going. Verse 11, it says, and many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many, which is happening. And we're finding out that these guys who've taken the bag are proving themselves to be false prophets. You know what I'm saying? Like the IUICs, right? GOCCs, right? Sakari's on their way if they don't tighten up. You know, can't really say that yet because they're still teaching, a lot of good things, but they be going off on a lot, here lately. So hopefully they get it in order. Anyway, many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. See that? The love of many shall wax cold. And they don't talk about this. Islam ain't going to talk about that. All right. And these are speaking of people in our nation. They're going to turn on their family members and friends and loved ones that are believing on the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. All right. They're going to turn on us and deliver us up to be killed. Yes. The nigga you was just having a shot with a week earlier, 2-3 days ago. Yeah, he gonna turn on you. All right. This is prophecy. Anyway, but that answers the question. Verse 9. How many are the adversaries of Israel, right? Of Zion. And ye shall, in the middle of verse 9, and it reads, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And Jake is already hated around the world. Right? Jake is hated around the world, especially Judah, or you so-called Negroes. You so-called Negroes, black men, y'all are hated in every country. And you black women too. You're hated everywhere. Because there's a negative stigma that surround that particular class of Israelite, right? That particular, I don't want to say tribe, because you can be of any tribe and look like a Negro. Okay, but for us Israelites that have that phenotype, dark skin, coarse curly hair, right? Full featured, we got. Hey, we're hated everywhere, man. Okay. Verse 20. For how many are the adversaries of Zion? We just answered that. Be comforted in regard of the sorrow of Jerusalem. Okay. For thou seest that our sanctuary is laid waste, our altar broken down, our temple destroyed. And that happened. Right? That already happened. Our psaltery is laid on the ground. Our song is put to silence. Right? It's coming back now, though. Our song is put to silence. Our rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out. The ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled. Right? And the name that is called upon us is almost profaned. Well, today it has been profaned, right? Because you got these yarmulke wearing, Shirley Temple Curl wearing, having as dogs committing all type of atrocities in the earth under our name, right? Got the world believing that they are us, right? And they don't say Israelite, they say Israeli, right? But we know that that's an Israelite. We the people. Anyway, our children are put to shame. Our priests are burnt. Our Levites are gone into captivity. Our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravished. Our righteous men carried away, and our little ones destroyed. All of this happened, all right, during the time of Ezra, and shortly after the time of Ezra, up until slavery, man. And if you have eyes to see, it's still happening today, because our wives, our virgins are defiled. Look at the state of our women, man. Our wives are ravished, right? Our righteous men carried away, our little ones destroyed, our young men are brought in bondage, and our strong men are become weak. And that's the truth. You get all these people debating and shit, like with Killer Mike and all of that shit, right? And really, them niggas ain't strong. The strong men are the ones that's going out on the highways and byways week in and week out, putting their life and their livelihood on the line and their freedom on the line to push this gospel, to push this word to the four corners of the wind, man. Putting up the videos every week, getting tracked. You know we on watch lists, but watch lists be damned, because we have a duty. So those are the mighty men in truth, all right, in spirit and in truth. Whether you can receive that or not. Not Pookie and Ray Ray walking around, carrying the fire with some skinny jeans sagging, hanging off their ass, with some Crocs on. And which is the greatest of all? The seal of Zion have now lost her honor, right? For she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. There it go again. There it go again. The she being the nation of Israel, being Zion, all right? Because Zion and Jerusalem is a people. Israel is a people before it's a place, and we be the people, right? And again, these people hate us, man. Okay? Let me get 2 more verses and I'm going to close out, because I'm going to run over if I'm not careful. Let's go to Psalms 137. You know what? No, I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get that one. I'll get one more verse and I'm going to close it out. Let's grab Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 9. Right? Now this is Solomon, right? Speaking on on how the wicked view us. Okay? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, Job 9:24. And all you have to do to find out who the wicked is is look to see who's in power. All right? And so to help you out, right? If there's a world war, a third one, if there is, which there will be, we know this to be true, saith the scriptures. But look back and see what constituted the title of World War in the first and second one, right? It was Edomite on Edomite wars, as the brother Nahalia always says, the big brother Nahalia, all right? That constitutes a world war. Ain't no world war when it's the West against Christianity against Islam, when it's the West against the Middle East, so-called Middle East, right? If it's, anybody against African or Indian nations, it's not, or whomever. The world war happens when those that are in power fight amongst themselves, right? Anyway, verse 9, Solomon 2 and 9. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness, right? Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. What are they speaking of? The voluptuousness. What does that word mean? Voluptuous, when you speaking of a woman, that means she's thick and curvy, shapely, right? Thick, like how we like them, right? Voluptuous. She got all the jelly in the right spots, right? Where they're talking about being thick and full, right? Having plenty. Okay? Being fat, so you can understand, in a good way. Because that's a sign of wealth. Okay? And this is why it says, let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. All right? For this is our portion. And those tokens of their joyfulness are their demon seeds. All right? Let us oppress the poor righteous man. And those demon seeds are often set up in places of power. Okay, that's something to remember. Think about the Spaniards and how they came over, what they did to the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Incas. All right. Those that ended up with lighter skin and, certain features, more European features, they were put in positions of power or in the upper class. Okay. Anyway, verse 10, let us oppress the poor righteous man. This is the point. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Right? We just showed you in Deuteronomy, they would show no favor, right, to the old. No favor to the young, and it would have no reverence for the old. Right? Let our strength, verse 11, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. All right? So their strength is the law of fairness, is the law of justice. Okay? And as King David says in Psalm 17, those that have their portion in this life who are the sword of the Lord, right? That'd be the Edomites. Okay, verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. We are the righteous. Okay, he is clean, contrary to our doings. This is why? Because we are a holy people. Even in our filth, there's something different that sets us apart. Holy means separate or set apart, right? There's something about us that's different from all the other nations. Okay? He upbraideth us with our offending the law, because we were given the law, and only us, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressings of our education. All right? So they transgressed the education, because why? Jacob and Esau were brothers, and Isaac was a righteous man. So they were both given The same instruction. Okay? Education means to draw out that which is within. Okay? Anyway, that proves the point of the lesson. All right? He professeth to have the knowledge of God, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. And we're doing that today. Those of us that are waking up. All right? The hopeful elect. Okay? The 144,000 elect, wherever they may be, and the rest of that innumerable multitude, the rest of the body of believers, the 1/3, yeah, we are returning to our Lord, man. Beat up and broken down with a contrite heart, eyes full of tears, though. Right? Trying to win his favor in mercy. We're doing that as we speak. All right? And the men that are pushing his word are amongst that 1/3, most likely. Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah. All right? Anyway, that's the point of the lesson. I pray this lesson finds you well. I pray that it was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.